I try, but it don't seem to work. I had like on top, but I can cope, but it hurt. If I die right now, what if it started hurt? Man, I've been wasting my potential on the body and the perk. I wanted more when they say no, man, I don't get how that works. But I've been burning through my chances, you can get me to work.
What's up, guys? I'm Landon from shoeware, and today we're checking out part of LeBron's sub shoe line with Nike, the LeBron Witness 5 in this game Royal colorway. So if this is your first time checking us out, feel free to drop a follow or subscribe wherever you're watching and give this video a like. We would greatly appreciate that. Now, checking out the box and the price really quick, there's just not really much to speak of, as you would kind of expect. LeBron's player logo is kind of blown up on top with just a basic black box underneath that. And then looking at the price, the Witness 5 cuts the LeBron original shoe line in half and retails for $100, which is going to land these on the cheaper side for basketball shoes. It is still going to be a little bit on the higher side compared to some other players' sublines, like Kyrie, Giannis, some other guys in there as well. But on their own, I mean, $100 is not bad at all for a basketball shoe. So checking out the appearance for these, this is the Game Royal colorway for the LeBron Witness 5. There are some flashier colorways out there, but I mean, the blue almost perfectly matches the jersey, so obviously I had to rock with these. But as far as like the details, as expected, there isn't going to be a ton going on, just like the box, and probably even less going on than last year's LeBron Witness 4 model. It looks like I didn't get to personally test those out, but I mean, just from the photos, it looks like they did more to that model. But you are going to have like a change in the materials from like the front to the back of the shoe. In the front portion, it's more like, you know how you have those holes in the back, it's a little bit more filled in. I'm going to get more to that in the material section here in just a second. But the tongue is going to have that same LJ Crown logo on both pairs. And then it's also going to show up on the outsole for these shoes, just on the bottom of the shoe. And then you have two shades of blue that kind of split that Nike swoosh in half. And then on the swoosh that's on the inside of the upper, there's going to be a lion face that's kind of etched into the shoe. So, I mean, LeBron he does go by the nickname King James. So, I mean, there's nothing major for details on the shoe. I still think they did do enough, but now let's go ahead and check out how they hold up on the court. So now looking at the materials, like I just touched on, these are going to have a pretty clear material break that happens in the middle of the upper. The front is going to be made out of some mesh with some holes in there. It's going to offer some really nice airflow for your foot. That is something to like about this shoe. And then the materials are definitely going to be light. That is the main reason that this is going to end up being a lighter shoe, only weighing 406 grams for a size 10.5. So that definitely lands them on the lighter side. And you can definitely feel that just like by holding these in your hand, and especially whenever you have them on your foot. They are just an easy shoe to move around in. And then the back half of the shoe is going to be a little bit more filled in, and just by touching that section specifically, you can tell that it's going to lean on the cheaper side. But that is where you're going to have a rigid heel counter kind of around where that lion face is embossed into the back of the shoe, and that's going to keep your foot in place and provide some pretty solid lockdown. And I mean, overall the support is pretty good, like especially for what you're working with. There's no additional pieces like an outrigger, strap, anything like that, but I still didn't struggle with any of my movements, even with the front portion of that upper being pretty thin. So I guess it will be interesting to see how the materials hold up over time, but I mean, initially I don't have anything bad to say about this one. So now looking at more of the materials and the performance side, and starting off with the cushioning, LeBron's line is known to have a ton of cushioning features just kind of packed into his shoes, his main line anyways, and you do actually see a little bit of that trickle over into this LeBron Witness 5 as well. So there are two Zoom Air units that are going to be under the ball of your foot to give you some nice responsiveness, and you can actually see those through like a clear window if you just peek through the side of the midsole. The cushioning units itself, they do look exactly like what was used on the LeBron 19. But I mean, looks are about the only way that these are going to stack up to that model. The LeBron Witness 5 isn't going to be like over the top soft, but these do have resilient foam in the midsole compared to, you know, Cushlon that was used in the LeBron 19s. It's much more expensive for that. I mean, it's going to be part of it why these lack a little bit there. You don't get a lot of compression whenever you apply a pressure in the same way that some more expensive and some softer shoes would get. But I mean, cushioning is going to be good. It's not great. That's kind of the way I would sum up this category. And, you know, with the lower price, that is pretty much expected, just like everything else. So to finish off with traction, whenever looking at LeBron's main shoe line, this isn't really a strong suit, so I was kind of interested to play in these and see how they felt. And the pattern is going to be a diamond shape. You can actually see the two spots down there where those two Zoom units are at for the cushioning, but honestly, I mean, there is a little bit of stickiness to this Witness 5 shoe. They definitely are at least on par or potentially better than the LeBron 19, so I was surprised by that. And I was somewhat inconsistent though, just as far as like the traction. Like I went to make some sharp cuts and somehow just like lost my footing, and I even like bit it a few times. And honestly, it could have just been like a wet spot on the floor, because other than that, they felt really solid to play in. And I can see these holding up pretty well for outdoor use. The grooves are deep, and the impact protection does feel good enough to just have you covered whenever you're landing on a harder outdoor surface. But to finish off with sizing, the width is pretty average. There is a little bit of extra room for your toes, just as far as the length. I don't think enough where I personally want to go a half size down, but if you do like more of a snug fit, that's something you may want to try out. But overall, I was pretty surprised by the LeBron Witness 5 model. I have been branching out and just like playing in a few different like budget friendly options, like the Nike Flyby Mid, the Giannis Immortality, and I mean, these have played as good as those models and probably even better for the traction. So for the price of $100, if you're a LeBron fan and you don't want to spend double the money to get the LeBron 19, this would be a solid option for you. So if you're interested in buying these shoes and you want to support our channel, just click the link on screen or check out the link below or in our bio. But that wraps up this performance review. Until next time, I'm Landon from Shoeware. Peace.